Let g of x equals 9.651 cosine pi over 5.543 x minus 1.269, nice, plus 1.911, nice, on intervals 0, 10. Which of the following statements is not true? All right, so we need the lie in all of this. We need the lie. So obviously what I need to do is I need to run to my calculator because there's no way I'm doing this without a calculator. I'm going to y equals, I'm plugging that in, I'm graphing that on 0, 10, which is good news. And, seeing which one of these is not true. So let's go and see what happens. All right, let's graph this really gross equation. We've got y equals 9.651. Here's my cosine. It automatically pops up a parentheses. I'm really paranoid with fractions, so I'm just going to put a parentheses there for the fraction. Probably not necessary, but I don't know. I'm afraid if I don't do this and I attach x, it's going to think that like my x belongs in the denominator, which I definitely don't want it to go. So that's me plugging that in. That's me ending the fraction, and that's me putting in x. Now I need to subtract 1.269, so minus 1.269. I'm going to close that parentheses, and I'm going to add 1.911. Let's hit graph and see what we get. All right, so we have a peak just outside. We only care about stuff between 0 and 10, so I'm going to fix my window. I'm going to change the y min to -1, okay, because I'm going from 0 to 10, but I always like to have that little bit of cushion. It goes to 11 for my x, okay. I need to add more stuff to the y, so I'm going to change the y max to 13. I don't know. That should do it, though, I think. Yeah, that should do it just fine. Now, I only care about stuff between here and 10, which is right here. So I need to find the lie. So let's see if A is true. The minimum value occurs at x equals 7.782. So I need to find the minimum value, which is going to be right there. So to find a minimum, we go to second calc. There's the word minimum, so we can hit 3 or scroll down and hit enter. In order to calculate the minimum, we move my cursor just to the left of the minimum, and then move it just to the right of the minimum for right bound. And then it's going to give me a spot where it says, my answer, my minimum, is going to be in between these two. Guess is always enter. I've never seen a time where it's never that. And my minimum occurs at x equals 7.782. So A is true. That's not the lie. A is not the one I want. So let's keep going. The maximum value occurs at y equals 11.562. So here's my maximum value. We're going to do the maximum the same way we did the min, but we're going to do 4, which is maximum. So let's go all the way to the left of that maximum value. There you are. For left bound, make sure you're to the left of it. Hit enter. For the right bound, make sure you're just to the right of it. Hit enter. And for guess, hit enter. And we care about the y value, not the x value. That's the trick behind this problem. The y value is 11.562. Sure is. So B is a true statement. So we need to keep going because the answer is not A and the answer is not B. The midline is the equation y equals 1.911. Now, I do not need to do anything on my calculator here because I find my midpoint by seeing what is added or subtracted to my entire function. So I have blah, 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 cosine, blah, 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 close parentheses. The number that's floating around right after that is my midline. So C is a true statement because my midline is 1.911. So D has to be a lie. Let's find out why. The graph is concave up at x equals 3.281. So let's go back to our graph. 3.281. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. So here's 3.8. And at that moment right there, that's concave down. It doesn't start going concave up until we hit the midline. Now, if you're paranoid and like, well, how do I know that that's not like 1.2 or something like that? Well, if you want to find out what the y value is, and if the y value is greater than the midline number, which is 1.911, you can hit second calc and type out your value at 3.281. 3.281. And since that number is much bigger than 1.911, that number occurs above the midline where it just so happens to be concave down. So after all of that, of course, it was problem or option D that was the lie, and we want the one that is the lie, so we are going to circle D. Oh boy, so much fun. The answer is D. Again, we wanted the lie. You were true. You were true. I didn't even need a calculator to see that you were true, but you were the one that was a lie because it happened like right around there. So that's concave down. So yeah, lots to do in that problem, but it's a tricky one and we did it. Hope this helps.